I'm John Buchanan. Now, it's fair to say that we tend to think about Logic as obviously being a digital audio workstation. It's a term that's come to be a kind of catch-all for all of the kind of leading music program making software. But of course, it's an entire ecosystem. It's a sequencer, it's a live recorder, it's an effects processor, it's a thing where we can generate step sequences, we can write all different types of music, we can collate sounds, all kinds of things are possible. Really, part of the issue whenever it comes to working with any sequencer is how to kind of manage all of the resources that exist within any individual program. And to take one example of that, we're all probably capable every once in a while of kind of preset browsing when we open up Alchemy, for example, just take one example of one instrument. And actually very quickly, because there are so many sounds, it's very easy to sort of feel like the process of browsing is incomplete before you then move on. You could spend all day just browsing sounds. So we kind of want ways of being able to index things or get to things a little bit more quickly that feel like they're going to be a good fit for the way that we work. You'll have seen me on this channel many times, opening Alchemy, choosing synths and then analog and then down tempo, for instance, in order to kind of limit my search to a smaller range of sounds that hopefully will be a bit more appropriate. Now, one of the things that's interesting about Logic 12 is that the whole idea of sound pack management, the Apple Loop libraries, but also the sounds that go into instruments like Alchemy and Drum Machine Designer has been updated. And what we're going to do in this episode is just to have a bit of a look at all of that, because I think it's helpful to. Now, I am going to say that part of the reason that I think it's helpful is that I think that this isn't something that everyone gets right in all of the environments in which similar workflows are possible. I'm a big user of Native Instruments stuff. We can have a whole conversation about that. Let's not for now, but every once in a while I'll be encouraged to update one of the packs that exists within the Native Instruments world, and it will say 8 new drum kits for battery, but it won't tell me what they're called, and I won't know where to find them. I don't know how to kind of focus in on just the new content that's been updated. I can see that the list of sounds gets longer, but if I install 16 packs at once, I get a whole bunch of new drum kits, but I don't really know what collection they belong to. And what Apple have attempted to do with Logic 12, which I think is interesting, is to get some of this stuff under control. Goodness me, maybe this is the record for the longest intro ever. Are you still with me? Of course you are. Watch time on this video is going to be down, isn't it, Will? It's going to be down. Okay, so there we are. Let's find out exactly what I'm talking about. Now, as we know, the loop library exists up here in the top right-hand corner. It's a place we've been many times, and we're going to be back here in a little while. I'm going to leave that open for a moment because I think that's going to be useful to us. But let's suppose what I wanted to do was to think about all of the sounds that are available within Logic's library of content. What I've had to do in the past is to sort of come up to the Logic Pro menu and come to the sound library and do all of the management of the sound library from here. And all of that has changed in Logic 12. For the better. What I'm going to do is to open up the library instead here, and what I have now is this option called Get More Sounds. And when I click this button, what happens is, a bit like a kind of shopfront, I get all of the ways in which it's possible for me to look at the content which exists within Logic. Now, some of that is going to be artist and producer pack based. If you have watched, for example, the videos that I've made about live loops, you'll know that Mark Ronson and other artists have made collections of sounds, live loops, and a whole series of sounds that go with those live loops, bits of audio file, bits of live loop, maybe collections of Drum Machine Designer packs. And what they've done is to basically say, you know what, this is an interesting collection of sounds that I've made for Logic. Well, we can browse all of those here. Here are all the artist and producer pack-based sort of options available to us. Alternatively, what we can do is to look at overall sound packs. So things that might contain Apple loops and maybe collections of sounds for some instruments, or we can focus in on just instrument packs. And indeed, if you are working with the session players and you want to be in a position where you can kind of go there with extra content for those, then they're down here as well. So suddenly what we've got is collections of sounds, and I'm sure as new things are updated and as Logic is updated, we're going to see new additions made into this sort of collection of options here. Now, what I can see at a glance is what I've already installed and what I haven't. So as it turns out, because I've made lots of content about the loop library, over time I've installed the vast majority of the things that exist here, but not all of it. So if I come down to one of the packs that I haven't installed, for example, the step sequencer kits pack. If I click on this, I get a chance to firstly read about it. What am I going to get? Well, I'm going to get 17 drum machine designer kits, apparently. I'm going to get 300 new drum samples. Well, that all sounds quite good. And before I actually press get, if I want to, I can even preview it. Sounds like this. That's quite enough of that. Okay, now then, if it turned out that I did want to get to this pack, all I need to do is to press the get button, and what happens is it starts downloading. And not only that, what is going to happen is that the Apple Loops library over here on the right hand side is going to index to show me that that content is being added. Great. Let's see how long that takes. This is a 117 megabyte pack, which is down here on the left hand, down in the bottom right hand corner, left hand corner. And it's done it. So in the time that it took me to work out the difference between left and right, more or less, we're in good shape. But do we now have the native instruments problem of, well, what are those sounds? They're called step sequencer kits. Does that mean that within Drum Machine Designer, where I've got 17 new drum machines, they're all going to be called step sequencer drum kit, or something that makes it obvious that they belong to that pack? Well, we're going to come back to that in a moment. But much more importantly, or just as importantly potentially, what I need to do is to see whether or not the indexing of the sound packs in the loop library has updated to show me these new kits. Now, this is where life gets interesting, I think, because this is definitely Apple's attempt to get some of the stuff that I'm talking about being problematic in terms of updating any ecosystem of sounds kind of under control. And what I mean is, up in the top right hand corner, and this really is the top right hand corner this time, I can click here and I can see all of the content that I was just talking about. So echoing the way that the content is presented within the sound library options in the middle, I've got a whole bunch of things, including the step sequencer. So I'm in a position to limit my searches to just the stuff that relates to the things that I'm interested in. And suddenly what I now do appear to have is some stuff that I'm assuming is coming from this collection of sounds. Now, I don't think, it's called step sequencer kits, I don't think that I'm in a position to specify exactly that thing. So it does seem to be here under a catch-all of step sequencer, unless I'm missing it somewhere else. But hopefully that helps me drive into some of that content. And what I've also got, as I've always had, is an opportunity to further search. So if I wanted to go for step sequencer and I wanted drums, I'm in a position to specify beats, and then I'm narrowing my search a little bit more as well. Okay, so that's useful to know. But can I readily identify what those sounds are within Drum Machine Designer? So what I'm going to do next is close this down for a second. I'm going to open up a new empty track. And for now, what I'm going to do is to then browse through the electronic drums. I think it's fair to say we were listening to electronic drums. And what I want to do is to see whether or not there are new additions in the sort of step sequencer world. Well, not obviously. There aren't suddenly 17 new kits called step anything. So can I search for them here? Doesn't look like it. Can I search for them here? Step sequencer kits. Yes, I can. So it turns out that all of this stuff is much more joined up than it was before. I'm now in a position to discover that these are the kits that relate to the content that I've installed, and I think that's really good. And I can see that the Loop browser is also updating with this stuff too. One more thing to say. What I'm going to do is close this down for a moment, and I'm going to open Alchemy on a new software instrument track. And what I can see within the browse window here is that also the sound library is available for any new patches within Alchemy. So straight away I can see the sound libraries from which particular sounds are taken. So if it turns out that one of the producer packs is the place where I want to get my sounds, I'm in a position to do that. But you can see that there is a pack here called Visions, for which at the moment I only have one sound. If I come back to get more sounds, up here at the top, there is a Visions Alchemy pack, which I suspect doesn't only contain one sound. So if I click on this, firstly, what I'm in a position to do again is to kind of read about it. Dark, foreboding drones and ethereal atmospheres. My middle names. I'm in a position to preview it, we know that already. But if what I want to do here is to just go ahead and get this pack, I can see straight away that there should be 149 Alchemy synth sounds and 80 step sequencer pattern loops as well, which presumably are going to update within the sound pack's world. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this pack too. Now this one is a bit bigger. It's over 1 gigabyte in size, so it's going to take a bit longer to download. Should we chat about the weather? It's raining a lot at the moment. But anyway, we're going to go through the process of updating this. When it's done, come and join me. Going to drink coffee in the meantime from this beautiful mug. So the install is happening right now. Let's see what happens in real time. So excitingly, the indexing of the Apple Loops library is happening. I'm buzzy. Are you? I think you probably are. I'm going to close this down. I want to also see whether or not we can see what happens inside Alchemy in real time. Do I need to reboot it? No, I don't. Look at that. So Alchemy has just updated. I now have a lot more sounds within the Visions download area. That's exciting. I hope they're all dystopian drones and ethereal atmospheres. And maybe I'm also in a position up here to see whether or not Visions is something that I can search for, and suddenly there are all of those patterns. I think this is all pretty good. Let's have a listen to some of the sounds. Minor Incident sounds like a place to start. Triplets, nice. So meditation drone. Yeah, these are all quite nice, aren't they? I say all quite nice. I've played 2 sounds, getting carried away already. So that sounds a lot like me. Grain droids. So that's a lot of fun. Would they have made that sound if Transformers didn't exist? I'm not sure about that. Okay, so we've seen the sounds within the Visions pack for Alchemy. It turns out that obviously I'm in a position to see the Visions pack up here as well for the sound pack content. So I'm guessing that if I obviously just drag in one of these pattern sequences, it's going to assign itself to the sound for which it was programmed, Alchemy in this case. Let's put a little loop around this and see what that sounds like. Wow. Okay, so straight away by honing in on some stuff, obviously I'm just at random dragging and dropping some bits and pieces in, obviously just only a couple of sort of percussion-based things, but you'd expect that. Alchemy's much more a kind of melodic, rhythmic, pad-based instrument than it is a kind of drum programming space. But again, the fact that I can sort of just dive into an individual sound pack and see what exists within it. And the same thing would be for anything else. If I decided to pick Toy Box, for instance, I can find out what just exists within this one particular collection of sounds. And then, of course, the various loops and the categories of those appears as I flick through each one. And if I come back up to all, I'm back into the place where I can see the entire loop library all in one go. I think this is pretty good, I have to say, in terms of the way that things are being organised. I think that this is being pretty carefully thought through, and really importantly, within the kind of get more sounds option, I do have the opportunity to delete anything too. So if it turned out that I didn't want the Chinese traditional instruments, for instance, I can just delete it directly from here. And that doesn't mean that I'm not going to see it in the sound library next time I open it up. Quite the opposite. Next time I open it up, I've got the opportunity to reinstall it if I want to. So if you're somebody who is working with some of the content on your laptop and you're lucky enough to have a work machine as well, and you want to be configuring a collection of sounds which suits your workflow but maybe is limited to something much smaller for when you're out and on the road and working somewhere else, you're absolutely in a position to kind of configure the sound libraries however you want. And I do think the fact that we've got kind of library search options all over the place does make it possible to just make sure that we really are finding the content we've chosen to install. Not everybody takes it as seriously as Apple have. I think this is really good.